Good morning, everybody. I'm here with Cyclic Liz Cross. How are you doing this crazy morning?
You know what? It's not all that crazy to me. Why? Because we do charts every month. At the beginning of every month, we knew a big event was going to happen. Did we not? We've all been waiting for this in our group.
Yep. You did a probe. Oh God, I don't know how. It was a couple months ago where originally around this time, Donald Trump had a court date event, and we thought that okay, it's going to be this event that we saw coming is going to have to do something with this court date. And then the court date got moved to September. And so we were confused, like, well, we knew something was going to happen with Trump around this time. Well, this was obviously it, right? This is bang on pretty much the day. I'd have to go back and look exactly what day it was, but it was definitely mid-July that we got this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we knew something was coming to do with Trump at this time.
Well,
And
I mean, it's
and there was
inevitable.
another video. You're right. There was another video where we got that, when he was going to be in jail, there was going to be some danger for him there. So,
Yeah. I
it,
mean, I'm not surprised by this at all. I'm not. I know it's like everybody's like, oh my God, they tried to kill Trump. But if you actually listen to the probe that we did with Trump about his possible going to jail, he was already on high alert and he said, they're going to corner me in jail and they're going to kill me. Right? Remember that? And of
right.
course, everybody was like, oh my God, Liz, you're a Trump supporter. You're no, right? I was reporting his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions in a mind probe, and he knew that they were just waiting for an opportunity to assassinate him, to kill him, and they thought they were going to do it in jail. Now,
Right.
fast forward, what, 2 weeks later, or 3 weeks later now, after we've already, Mr. Shakespeare put out all the charts, which are extremely accurate, down almost to the day that some major event was going to take place around July 15th, and it's going to cause a reaction in the markets, which is what we were looking for. But we knew that this massive event was going to take place. So I'm not actually surprised by it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I mean, uh, geez, if you're paying attention to like, which I'm not really 100%, like a lot of the stuff in the news about the campaign. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff leading up to this, let's say, in like the on the left side of the media that was kind of calling for some violence, like against Trump, like it seems. And so, I mean, now this happens. I mean, it looks really bad, fortunately. So it's a shame that this is what politics has to come to, but there is a long history of this happening in the United States in politics. Obviously, the last president that was had an attempted suicide or assassination attempt was Ronald Reagan, right? And what happened after that was he actually had quite a big approval rating after that. He went on to win the election quite substantially after that. So whatever they were planning to do, it's probably going to backfire against them. It looks like. But yeah, and obviously, it's very eerie that there's also a Kennedy running in this election, and then that happens also. So
Well,
yeah,
I think that we'll have to probe Kennedy separately. Um,
yeah,
but so for the purposes of this probe, we're going to take a look at the who is she, the head of the Secret Service?
right. So her name is Kimberly Cheadle.
Okay. Now,
Yeah,
I don't know anything about her, which is good from a remote viewing standpoint. The less I know, the more pure the information. So she has not slept. Okay, as I connect with her, she maybe only had about 45 minutes sleep last night. And
yeah,
her job is going to be called into question. Um, she's even thinking of resigning as I tune into her. This is a total failure.
Yep.
Total failure. So I have her here. What would you like to know?
Well, I mean, the obvious question is, did she have any information that this was going to happen beforehand?
Did you have any information that Trump was going to be assassinated? Absolutely none whatsoever. No.
Okay. All right. So why I'm asking that is because, and I don't know, I'm just going off of the limited information that's coming into me, obviously. And I'm seeing pictures that seem to show that there were obvious rookie mistakes being made by the Secret Service in terms of them doing a sweep of the area. For instance, there was an obvious place where someone could get up on the roof, and they apparently did, and that's something you just don't miss, right? So I'm seeing a few of those anomalies, we'll call them, and maybe we're wrong, right? But it looks like there was some negligence there at the very least.
So let's
And
ask her. Let's ask her. Do you believe that the Secret Service were negligent? Wholly negligent. Why do you think that is? We're short of staff. I feel that the funding, the budget is very tight, is what I'm getting from her. We have to work within the means of what we have available to us. And that's not much. Do you trust all of your employees as far as she is aware, right? Her own personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. She trusts them. Do you vet them? Yes, they are vetted very heavily. Are they ex-military? Most are ex-military, she's telling me. So where do you think you went wrong? Because people actually pointed out that there was a sniper on a rooftop somewhere, and she says we immediately went to investigate, and but it obviously it was you didn't have enough time. No, she says we didn't have enough time. They were pointed in the direction of this sniper. So why didn't you just take him out? We didn't know who he was. We didn't know if that was the an officer. She's telling me. She says, I don't know who that was. We weren't sure. We were on our way to question. And what happened when you were on your way to question? He fired shots. So um, do you believe that you were at fault? Oh, yes, she's taking responsibility for this. She is. In all fairness, she is, she's not one of these, narcissistic, zero empathy. I'm not going to be held accountable. I'm not going to be responsible. It's their fault, not my fault. She is taking responsibility. Have you had the president on the phone? No, but his advisors have been on the phone.
sure.
And when are you going to be called in to face some sort of inquiry? Are you going to be doing that today, Sunday? Yes. So she's gathering all the information right now. There's a full-blown investigation. They have to present it all to somebody today, the White House. Yes, the White House today, and Congress. So it looks like this is going all the way up to Congress. They will be investigated by Congress. This is going to go on for months and months and months. What else would you like to know?
Yeah, I mean, okay, that seems about, there she's going to be that she's going to take all the fall for this, and she knows that for sure. Um, okay, so, but I
But she's
mean,
scared.
she's giving the excuse that there's not enough funding, but sweeping the area doesn't really cost you a lot of money. Like, I don't really buy that personally, that they missed that obvious thing. So that to me, that's either that was I guess it was complete incompetence, or I don't know.
Or
Like,
someone let someone through. Okay,
yeah.
let's ask. Okay, because
And
I
maybe
used
she
to work
she
for
she
the
probably
police.
doesn't know. Like it seems like you're tuning into her and she's probably genuine, right? And if I were someone that was orchestrating this, I wouldn't want her to know, right? You don't want because you want her to be the fall person, right? You have your person that orchestrates it at a lower level, and
Mm.
then it just looks bad on her, and she's the one who takes all the heat.
Let's
So
ask her. Do you think you're going to lose your job? She's like, I don't know. I don't know. She's scared. Okay. She's really scared.
yeah,
Do you think that you were put in charge on base of merit? No, she was asked to be in charge. Okay. She was at, so you were asked to really apply or run. I don't even know how they get taught, whether they're elected or whether they're nominated, they're handpicked, they're chosen, they apply. Did you apply? Yes, she did have to go through some sort of application process to prove that she was worthy, but she was kind of handpicked to represent the Secret Service. Okay.
interesting.
And do you have any merit behind that? I mean, she does have merit in investigation work, but really, she is put up there because of her perfectionism. Okay. Because she can, when you're investigating things, you have to leave no stone unturned, right? Every T is crossed, every I is dotted. You have to make sure that everything is watertight. So because of that perfectionism, she was actually put in charge due to that because she's very good with paperwork, close attention to detail. Does that mean that she is capable? I suppose. I mean, when you're at the top of organizations like this, it is more about your handling of paperwork, red tape, being able to answer to the government. It's not so much about whether you had boots on the ground, most of your life and you are competent on that grassroots ground level, like her people that were there on the day. So let's ask this question. What do you think they did a sweep of the area? No, they failed to do the sweep. She's telling me personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. So you mean you had no one on the rooftop? They did have somebody
Yeah,
higher up. They
yeah.
did.
They had snipers. Like I've watched videos. Because obviously we can't show a video, but there's a video of a perspective looking at two snipers sitting on a roof right next to Trump. And you can see when the bullet comes into Grace's ear. After the bullet comes in, there's two shots fired by the snipers. So they had a target they were watching, and they didn't pull the trigger until after the shots were fired. That's what you can clearly see in the video.
But down to her personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, they didn't know who that was.
Right. That makes sense. That does make sense now.
Because you
So
don't want to kill an officer, right?
correct.
If
Correct.
if the sheriff's department or the police department put an officer up there, then you don't want to be in trouble for killing an officer.
Correct. That's true. But to their negligence, I mean, that's like rule number one. You do not give the high ground in
Hmm.
that situation. That's like the worst possible scenario is that you like they should be picking spots where it's easy to lock down the high ground. And if it's not easy to lock down the high ground, like you wouldn't want to do this, like for instance, on a major city street with like tall buildings where there's like 1,000, windows where someone could hide in the windows. Like you specifically pick places to do the rally or whatever event where there is not an opportunity for them to get the high ground. And if there is, there's you sweep the heck out of that part because that's like that's like just I'm not an expert in this, okay, but that's pretty obvious to me. Like I have no military experience, but these guys are like she said, they're all military, right? Like, how do you miss that? Like these guys are that's their life. They live and breathe this stuff.
Hmm.
So that's why I say like, okay, she's the easy fall person for someone, but if someone, were to below her were to, have some sort of intentions, right? To make something, oh, we missed this. That's kind of where I would think there would be someone there.
She
Uh,
already knows she's going to be called into Congress for this.
oh yeah,
This
I
is
mean
going to
she's
be a
going
big
down.
congressional investigation.
Yep, she's
Um,
going down.
do you think you're going to lose your job? She doesn't know. I would probably, well, she doesn't know. She doesn't know. You don't know what the evidence will bring. Do you have all the evidence? No, they're trying to secure all the video footage.
Yep.
They're even securing video footage from other people, witnesses that were there. They're trying to get all that footage together. They got names, addresses, of all the people that were there.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you going to do with that information? They're going to interview every single person that was there.
Oh, sure. Sure.
They will. So do you think that you're competent the next time that Trump has to be in a public place? No, no. It's a lot of catalog of errors. Did you not coordinate? Did the Secret Service not coordinate really well with the police department? No, she's telling me, no, they did not. This is an ongoing problem, an ongoing failure, where these are almost like pop-up rallies. Okay, is what
Yeah.
she just told me. It's
Fair
like
enough.
pop-up. That's what Trump's MO is. He's pop-up.
That's
And
true.
it's very difficult to coordinate in a short space of time. And so when he does these like pop-ups and he decides, we're going to go here, we're going to go there, what happens? It's very hard to get police departments who are not experienced with this level of security to coordinate. And I
That's fair.
actually understand that. I
Yeah, I
do.
do too. I do too. That is fair. Yep, that is fair.
This isn't like a big city police department. Okay. I get that. It God help, if Trump were to do a pop up out here, our sheriff's department wouldn't know what to do, right?
Right.
They're not used to this big time stuff. And I know that because going from London as a dispatcher, I totally understand this. So, I used to be a police dispatcher. Most of you know that for years and years and years in London, England. And you're used to 12 hours a day of stabbing, shooting, terrorism, kidnapping, carjacking, drug dealing, this, that, the other, bombs going off, blah, blah. Well, you start operating at a very high level of expertise when you deal with this stuff day in and day out. Rapes, you know how to deal with it. If you do a little pop-up in some place that, small town USA, where they get the crime occasionally, but not on a level of every day, like constant running in mental high gear with the amount of experience that you have because you have dealt with all of this stuff. Well, it's very, very difficult. And some of them can be quite obstructive because they don't want the feds coming in telling them what to do. So let's grab the police department. Did you coordinate with the Secret Service? No. See, there you go. That's where the failure is. I'm telling you, that's where the failure is.
Right.
They just come in, they do their thing, we do our thing, we're on standby. There's no communication really going on here. That's your failure. So we've identified that.
Wow.
It is because they didn't know if the person on the roof was an officer or not. Maybe they had their own, protection. They had no idea. And let's ask this question. Were you happy to communicate with the Secret Service? The police department are telling me, yes, they were. We told them we were open to communicate, we were open to plan. I think that they didn't have did you have a lot of time to plan this? No, they didn't. They're telling me they didn't. They did not have a lot of time to sit down coordinate things. Now, I know from my personal experience, when we have big events, or when we used to have, when I was working for the London Metropolitan Police, when we had big events in London, it's a huge it's a huge event, right? You have to seal all the manhole covers. You have to get rid of all the trash cans. You have to seal all the post boxes. You have to check, you have bomb checks, bomb squads. You move all the cars out of the area. You have peep snipers on the roofs. You know what I mean? Like, it is a huge operation involving many people. And then you have all your plainclothes officers. So let's ask her this. I know your Secret Service are mostly in plainclothes. That's correct. Did you have Secret Service dotted about in the crowd? No, not really. Not really. They had them around Trump, around sort of the front. They didn't have them dotted around the crowd. Not that that even makes a difference, because this kid was outside of the parameters, which if you were on the Discord. And how do we do that, Liz? Well, you go to patreon.com/remote viewing and beyond. We've all been talking about it. We knew this was coming, not the actual event, but we knew some big event was coming. We're all waiting for it. But on the Discord, I already called that this kid was outside the parameters before it was even released. And Mr. Photon, I'm sure you can back me up on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just a lack of coordination. Did you have enough people on the ground? No, we need more. But you're telling me that it's a funding issue. Yeah, they're strapped. You can only do so much with the money that you have. So there's a funding issue, but the main thing is the lack of coordination with the local police department. There you go.
There's several reports that I've seen of people reporting gunmen before shots were fired to the police. Can we ask, since we have the police there?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is that something that happened? Is that
did you get reports of gunmen to report it to you? Yes, we did. And what happened? See, they didn't know what to do, right? Why didn't you know what to do? Because they didn't know if they were Secret Service gunmen. So
oh my
here's
God.
your problem. Here's your problem. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. The police don't know if it's Secret Service. Secret Service doesn't know if it's the police. There's your total breakdown. That's your failure right there. Right?
So yeah, I mean, even just like conspiracy theories aside, right, of like an inside kind of operation and with the Secret Service, there's obvious, like, they just fumbled it at some level, right? That's totally, they left so many holes there for something bad to happen, unfortunately. And yeah, there's the time issue of him popping up at different places. There's the funding issue. But there's just obvious stuff, like when they do this investigation, she's going to take the fall for this pretty hard, because yeah, this is all gonna come out then, and they're going to look really bad.
Well, at least he's not in jail. Right? Because that probe that we got, it'll be like an Epstein scenario.
Correct.
Oh, all the security are looking the other way. Oh, wait, now all the cameras are not working.
That's
oh, wait,
right.
now there's a lapse in the controlled environment of people coming in and out, right?
Yeah,
we
would
did
have been
video
much easier to accomplish this behind bars, for sure.
Yeah, especially if you're just going to pay a lifer to bump him off, right? Oh, I know, we'll take care, which is what we got in the probe. What we got in the probe when we probed Trump 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever he was convicted, it was, I know if I go to jail, they're going to kill me, right? And you should have seen the hate mail I got. Liz, these are your own personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. You are just a pro-Trumper. You're pushing pro-Trump propaganda on your channel, and this, that, and the other. See ya. I'm so out of here because you're just a Trump propaganda channel. No, in his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, when he got convicted, and the potential at that point was that he could go to jail before it was all, scrubbed. But he said to us, if they get me in jail, I am a dead man. And then off camera, we probed it even further, which was they'll probably, his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions was they'll pay an inmate, right? A lifer, somebody who maybe just want to send the money to their family. They're in jail for life anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That's what we got off camera. We have to be careful what we put out here, but like you said, you've been following it most of the evening, early this morning. Everybody's talking about it. So I think what we say today is probably no big surprise. It's just, it's just a shame, really. It's a shame. It really is. I'm glad I'm glad no one was killed. Whether it's left or right. You don't want that to happen, right? It just doesn't look good. On the world stage, it looks terrible. All right. Well, that's our probe of her. I think we'll stop this one here. Come check us out on the Discord. Be in the know. Look at the charts every first of the month, so you guys aren't shocked by this stuff, right? We I'm telling you, we're the informed group out there. We really are. I know there's a lot of little groups out there, but our little group is going places. So come join us. I'm proud of our group. We're so hot. All right, well, let's stop this one here.